Good evening, everyone. It is 6:16 PM. If y'all don't mind, we'll get our special city council meeting dated December 3rd started with our pledges of allegiance, and Chief Panetta is going to lead us in our invocation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Bless
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Chief, do you mind?
Yeah, the Lord gathered us here today together. Bless us today is bless this group as they gather today to discuss matters of the city, guide them in the right direction. We will this community. Bless those who have to travel today, this evening, we're back home. In your name we pray.
Thanks, sir. So tonight is just a public hearing that we wanted to set, and I'll try to make sure we get the word out some more on Facebook and wherever else we can get it, word of mouth. But we wanted to talk about our upcoming possibility of the Vest Park City Hall Public Safety Building, the transfer station, the water line replacement, kind of talk about those projects and then go back over the funding, because I know we kind of all got hit at one time in the meeting and different slides and things going along. Really, it's kind of a communication for us, but more to try to get the city and the citizens involved. So we'll kind of start with Vest Park. And if I remember right, Vest Park was $11 million.
City Park 11.
City Park, $11 million. And that was put together, that proposal was put together by Kimley Horn. I think most of y'all in this room have seen the layout and diagram, but it's got water splash pad. It's got pickleball courts, tennis ball courts, a covered basketball court, large turf areas for sports. Had a truck, food area on one side, included extra parking. It's a complete redo. It's all the way to the ground. Yeah, we got these. It's all the way to the ground, start back up, new irrigation, new drainage, all the geo core sampling they'll have to do to make sure to hold everything. Lots of shade, a couple of bathrooms, things like that. So it is a large, that's our largest ticket item, in this round of conversations that we're having. But, I've been a proponent of the quality of life in Kermit, and I truly feel, and I'll let council talk too. I truly feel that if we can rejuvenate the parks along with everything else we've already been doing, we're gonna see some influx of people coming back to Kermit, moving to Kermit, businesses coming to Kermit, which will help reduce the burden on the ones that are here. And that's just my opinion. But, so that was the park renovation. The new city hall, it's estimated right now at $4 million. That is to completely tear down the Citibank building that's catty corner from the courthouse. Tear that and the Anthony's building down, build a new city hall there. It's kind of offset a little bit off of Austin. So there'll be some Austin Street parking or a parking lot facing Austin. It's a 2-story building with a balcony off the 2nd story looking back towards the courthouse. It'll be elevator because it's being 2-story, it's got to be handicap accessible. There'll be parking in the rear as well, and along Oak Street. So, and they'll still have a payment drive-through window. It'll be in the alley, but we won't be using the alley as the driveway. It'll be offset to accommodate car traffic to come through there. We had some drawings on that last week. We'll make sure we get those out to folks that may not, anybody in the group that wants to see those rendered drawings. It has chamber council, offices upstairs and downstairs, and kind of just moves us into the 21st century. This building, I think we decided is 60. Every house is a fire station. It built pushing 50. It's built 70. 75. So it's 61 years old. And I think this building's probably close to that age as well, somewhere close.
This phone probably 20 years old.
Yeah.
Older?
Yeah.
So the cost of these are high when you look at it, but if you look at the life of the asset, If these lasted 60 years and possibly 70 years, this building, with the new designs and everything, it's something that I think would help rejuvenate downtown and kind of kick off our revitalization department, our program. The other thing, is a new public safety building. We don't have any rendered drawings of that yet because we're kind of just in the process of starting that. But, Mike and I visited with Chief a little bit on it. We'd really like to start over here by the annex. Possibly buy the rest of those buildings if we can, but at least start where the annex starts, come around the corner, down Tornillo. With my vision is a corner glass bay to highlight the 19, what is it? 37, 38, 30 fire truck that we have. I think it would be awesome to have that on display 24 hours a day, lit up. Once again, that fire station, 61, 62 years old, something around those years. It's had some gas leaks underneath it. It's had some other issues that it's coming due, as well. Assistant City Manager Ramos has not made the offer, but he's explored this building and thinks it would be suitable for police. With the offices that are here, they can move dispatch into that area and use this area. So coming around the corner from the glass bay, we would put, however many bays would fit, and they'd be pull-through bays, so the fire trucks could come back in from a call through the back and pull through. And then coming off of that, a fitness area. And what I would like to see, and I've talked with Jaime and Mike about, is build that fitness center to where if this building eventually does get replaced, or however we connect the two together, go ahead and put double glass doors coming this way and extend the steel out, make it part of the building, but where that could be tied in, so it would all look the same eventually if they ever did it. But if they didn't do it, there would be access on this side for PD, and I think they could structurally make that steel look part of the design, but technically save us a lot of money down the road if we ever decided to connect those. And then, of course, fire station would be torn down, and that would add more parking and things of that nature.
Quick question.
Sure.
That gas station, or
Mhm.
what's a gas station? Who does that belong to?
I believe they just sold that, I think.
Belongs to the gentleman across the street.
Slicks.
Brett just bought it.
Right.
Oh,
Costello
okay,
just bought it.
okay.
A month ago.
So-
Okay.
And then you got that building, then you got this, there's a mechanic shop, I think, next door to that,
Mhm.
and then the annex, and then around the corner, so.
So I think he heard that we were trying to build a fire station there, so.
I'm sure.
That's one across from him.
I think he's gonna put a ice machine there.
Oh,
Maybe we could find him a more profitable spot to put ice in. You never know.
In his other parking lot.
So anyway, that on the construction side, totaled about 19 million, give or take. Now, we have some options. We can do a GO, which is a bond, or we can do the CO, which is also a bond. One is approved by council, the other one is, would go to the voters to be approved. And according to Bosky, the $19 million bonds, if we move forward with all three on a $160,000 house, is going to add about $600. I'm sorry, going to add $1,000 to that tax base, which would take it from 597 to 1653.
1,400 when he told us that night. If they're currently paying 600, he said it would add 1,400, so they would be up to 2,000.
It's not going to add 400 unless you have a $220,000 house, according to the chart he gave us.
Okay. He verbally said something different then.
No, I remember him saying that, but maybe it was with the whole amount, all the amount together with everything.
No, because the other ones are going to be funded by a sewer bond and a water.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. That was if he did everything on
Right.
bond and
Okay.
not broke any of it out. That's what
Right.
it was.
Okay, maybe that's, and we can get clarification. This is, like I said, for discussion more than anything. And then we can write down our questions for the next one we have. But I know the school did 40, Mike had said 100 and something million, but I think I went back and looked, it was,
46 million.
I think that's what the
The
school did.
bond was 118, 2.4, and 11.2. The 11.2 was the trailer park that was denied.
Right.
So we passed this too.
So yeah, so we passed 118 and 2.4.
So they passed a total of, remember the dollars, total dollars?
220.4 million. Oh, I'm sorry, 120.
120.
I don't think it was that much that passed.
That's
I was
what
thinking it was,
somebody told us that night.
yeah, but I think that's wrong. And I don't mean to,
Okay, I don't know. I know that they went over budget on a lot of it, so I'm sure it's probably more.
anyway, I know my payment didn't go up 1,600 a month. That was my whole reason for looking this up. The school construction was 47.5 and the football facility was, I guess that's completed, and 15, so 62 million. Because the housing was 3.7 and it did not go through.
Yeah.
So Proposition A was 47.5. Proposition B, which was the football facilities and the other sports, was 15 million, baseball and softball. And then 3.75 was the school. I mean, the teacher housing. And according to their numbers, the taxes went up $300 a year for 62 million. So I really want to get some clarification on what our impact will be on tax base.
Do you know if they did a 20 or a 30?
Probably 30. And you can also, I think he told us we could go as far as 40 or 50. That's a long time for interest. But it's a big step. And we want to make sure that we have all of our numbers and make sure that the proposed tax increase is what we think it's gonna be and all that. So those are, like I said, the construction part of it. We also are looking at a solid waste transfer station and water line replacement. So I want to look at those real quick so we can kind of talk about those. Solid waste transfer station was 8.5 million estimated. And what we've got on that I think is going to work to our advantage is we have a sewer bond sewer and trash are together. We have a sewer bond that we owe 1.2 million, I think, left on or something. That you're already paying on our water sewer bill. We're already paying $13 a month, $12 a month, $12 a month. So what we've looked at, or we can all look at, is paying that off. And the new one is probably going to be about $15 a month. So technically, we can get a new transfer station for about $3. Somewhere around in there. We'd have to get our numbers more firm and finalized on that. So we would technically just be asking for a small amount increase on the water and on the sewer side. Now, the big chunk in this one is $10 million estimated to replace all of the 2-inch water lines in the city of Kermit. We've got a study done. It's $51 million to replace all the water lines in the city of Kermit. We know that's coming. This is another thing that could be put off, but I think we're doing an injustice to future council and the citizens if we don't somewhere start planning. We can do these water lines in stages. The 2-inch ones were the ones that Greg, I think in the study, they thought were in the worst shape. It's estimated a lot of those 2-inch water lines are getting about a half an inch of flow through them. And no telling what kind of solids and things are going through on those. So that bond, or package, those two packages, for utility needs are 18,500,000. And it's got the breakdown on how those funds would be generated through non-tax revenue. And then the last thing is, well, I guess I threw the water line in with it. So you would have a property tax increase. You would have a sewer and trash increase that would cover the water. So you'd have a water usage, fee more than likely that would help pay for that. And what I really want to stress as we go through these is the life of the assets. These water lines are 60, 70 years old, some of them maybe, a little older. They were all in that old galvanized pipe. There's new technology, new thing. I think 2-inch water lines, if you replace them now with the new stuff, you're probably looking at minimum 75 years, if not longer. And as we move through, we've been very fortunate on some of our other lines and we haven't had a lot of breaks. But I think that 51 million is something that this council and future councils are gonna have to start looking at. So we've got those, in there just to kind of, a wish list. Now we can,
Did he say there was like 621 miles of 2-inch line, something to that effect that was what we?
I think that's total water lines, wasn't it?
Or was
600
that
miles?
total water lines.
I think that was the total, but the bigger chunk was 2
Was
inch.
the 2-inch?
Yes, sir.
I did some asking around and was told that a lot of our 3-inch lines were replaced within the last 5 or 10 years. Do you know if that's true, Greg?
There's no other 3-inch lines.
There's no 3-inch?
No, it's just 2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay, maybe it was 4 then. Do you know if any of the 4s?
The ones that did, were replaced, they replaced them with a 6-inch.
Oh, okay.
I think that's because of the fire hydrants.
Oh,
So somewhere in this area of here, but I'm gonna say that too. So there was a few that they're already 6-inch.
okay, good to know.
So I have a quick question.
Mhm.
Say if we approve and we go with all of it.
Mhm.
And do we can still apply for a grant, right, in the middle of our negotiation?
Yes.
Okay,
And even in the middle of the way I understand it, even if we're working on our 2-inch water lines, we can still go get some of that grant money that's possibly gonna be coming. But according to Mike, it was 2027 before it's gonna be released.
yeah.
And the bigger cities will probably gobble up the first big chunk of that. I think it was 11 billion a year. Can't remember how much they
They're
committed.
trying to do 1 billion.
1 billion a year for 11 years, something like that. So eventually, I think the city would recoup some of that.
Because I don't have my notes, but I know that going to the TML, there's several other grants available to us that we can
Yeah.
kind of.
And we need to. We need to be very aggressive
And some of
on.
those grants, according to what they were explaining to us, we probably, if we were eligible and received part of it, it would be up to 500,000. Which, I mean, for 10 million, I mean, it's not gonna solve your problem, but it's gonna be a help, right?
And
That's gonna help at least for the engineering firm and kind of get some of the stuff started. But yes, ma'am, some of those grants from the Texas Water Development Board, correct. And we could receive up to $500,000
And-
grant from that.
some of them are 60-40, 50-50, just depending on.
Some of the grants, yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And was that the same Texas Water Development Board that we were talking about getting the loan from?
Correct.
Okay. To do that and then put it on the water bill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's different agencies as well, other than that one,
Yes.
to get
Yes,
grants.
ma'am. There's,
but we are planning on paying off the bonds that we have now. So the money we're getting charged now will go away and then it'll be replaced with
Yes.
the new one.
the new ones.
Which would be an additional maybe $3 to $4.
Right, so you're really not,
Right, so you'd really see your bill going from 12 to 0 to 16 maybe. And that's just
right,
without really having the numbers, but yes, ma'am. It wouldn't be going but a few bucks more than what we're paying now.
And that would come out of our general fund. Pay it off? Or-
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We pay it out of the.
2.5 million that we pay that off, right?
Yep.
The two obligations we have from 08 and 2019.
Yes.
1.7 million, the other one's 830,000.
Yeah.
So those two would be what we would clear the slate with.
Correct.
By passing those costs along, the transfer station, the trash and the water line replacements, by putting those on the water bills, the people that are actually using the water are gonna help carry that cost. So it's not a burden on anybody that's not using it, so to speak. Property tax is a little bit different when you look at it like that. So anyway, some options on that, like, Kelsey mentioned, there was a loan, things of that nature. So kind of write your notes down on different thoughts that you have so we can ask, Mike and Bosky. The biggest thing to start thinking about over the next 30 days or so is if we're gonna put this to a public vote, the timeframe's about the same. I think, in January, we have to issue a call for an election. And then, and Diana can help me if I'm wrong, and then that election will get posted. We'd have public hearings for 47 days, whatever it is, and then it would be on a May ballot. However, they're based in there. If we put them all as one, or if you break them out individually, however, if anything is defeated, you can't bring that back up for 3 more years. You can do the CO bond, am I speaking right? Or council can approve that, and it does not go before a voter, a citywide election. I would like to get more, public feedback. But that is still allowed by state law. That part will go away probably in the next session, which is in 2 more years. They'll probably take the council's ability to issue COs out. They're the same bonds. The advantage to a CO is we could start construction as early as January. A GO, which is the general obligation bond approved by the voters, will be approved in May. You go out for those bonds throughout the summer, you would probably be looking at January of 27 construction start on anything else. So it's just something to weigh, options on. But I said, I'd hope, does anybody in the audience have any questions? I know we threw a lot at y'all, but
I think it's awesome, but if you're gonna go community support.
Right.
Other than, as we talked before, sponsored social media ads, you get it out there, but what's the normal voter turnout rate for city stuff?
Super low.
Very low.
2% maybe.
I mean, less than
Exactly.
25%?
Oh, it's 2% maybe.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
sad.
low.
Yeah,
I mean, we're doing real good if we have 200 people turn out.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
bad.
That's,
You know, I know I was inundated on Facebook with the school bond. Once word got out and that started going, everybody in town knew what was going on with the school bond election. So I think Facebook will be an advantage once we get the conversation started. That's what I'd hope tonight would be, where people walk out of here going, oh my God, they want to spend $40 million.
and I probably told 25, 30 people,
Too.
and I did
And
sauce
here
it
they
up a
are.
little bit. I said tax dollars or.
And if
Yeah.
we want to revitalize Kermit, I'm sorry, if we want to revitalize Kermit and see a growth, the city's gonna have to commit to its own value. If we don't, as a city, if we don't think the city's worth it, nobody else is gonna move here. You're not gonna have a business move here. If the city as a whole, council more than anything, if council doesn't believe in the vision, then nobody else, in my opinion, is gonna have a vision. We're not gonna build new houses. We're not gonna get new business here. And new business is what's gonna help take some of the tax burden off of the residents. Right now, we've got good sales tax revenue, but we need more business to come. It's the chicken or the egg. What comes first? Well, to me, the infrastructure has to be in place, in order for people to start looking at us. We need somebody to commit to building houses. We need more businesses that are here remodeling and revitalizing their buildings and doing that kind of stuff. So spread the word, get it out. I think Mike and I had planned on 3 of these, and I know it's a pain, but we got to get word out, or we're 6 of us are speaking for the whole town, and
Yeah,
that's what you're elected to do.
I mean,
Sir?
you're gonna have a target on your back.
Yeah.
right.
And not everybody's gonna agree to it,
Oh, no.
but then it's their own fault if you do split and you go 4 propositions.
Yeah.
200 voters show up. I mean,
If,
geez.
if it's an election that is just a bond, I bet you have less than that.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have on the sales on the east?
We
The-
didn't have maybe like 13 on one and
Yeah,
working on the
economic
I
development.
think the highest one was 25 turnout,
Yeah.
25 people voted,
27 altogether.
27 people voted.
But then they go to social media and
Oh, yeah.
Well,
And
off it goes.
I think we may have a hard time taking it to the voters with the new city hall because, way back last year and year before that, everybody was like, we need a multi-use indoor sports complex.
Mhm.
That's what everybody kept saying. But if we don't have something like this, they're not gonna wanna vote for a new city hall when they're wanting this multi-use.
The only advantage we have on that is the county's building one.
Yes.
They are building
They are
one?
building one.
Gonna be out behind the EMS
It's
station.
out behind the
Oh,
EMS.
I thought that was just gonna be a park.
No, it's a new, basically a new community center or community center is what they call that, don't they?
No, rec center.
Rec center. It's gonna be a new rec center. It's gonna, from what I've seen and heard, it's gonna have a upstairs walking track. It's gonna have, workout facilities, courts. They're gonna put basketball courts, pickleball courts. We're trying to make sure we don't duplicate a lot of the
Right.
same, because fields will just get wasted then.
Right.
Um,
Okay, well, I didn't know they were gonna do that. I
Yeah.
hadn't
I didn't know
heard
it had been finalized, but I knew it had been. on
yeah,
it.
Charlie showed Mike some renderings, I think, last month or this month, November. Yeah, last month.
that. Okay.
So that's coming. I agree, and that's part of our Parks Master Plan as well.
Mhm.
And we can put a Parks Master Plan bond together as well. What we planned on, I think, Caesar and Jaime can help me on updating and upgrading the parks we have now is gonna come out of budgeted money that we have in our capital fund. So new shade covers, new trash cans, new stuff like that, was gonna come out of that instead of a big bond issue.
Mhm.
The park, the Vest Park will not hold an indoor facility.
Right.
And so we can put one somewhere. And add that into something if y'all want.
But if they're already gonna have them, we don't need to.
There's really
Right.
no reason to have to.
We don't need to. I mean, we have the area over there, the nursing home.
Mhm.
I don't even know if that would be big enough, but if they're doing one,
But you know what, Judy, and with that perspective, I feel like we're gonna mediate it if we're bringing in new businesses. New grocery store is gonna kind of buffer the situation, I feel.
And I think the citizens, and I could be wrong, I think the citizens are ready for new and fresh.
yeah.
And all that. Y'all agree?
They just don't want to pay.
Yeah, they
don't
wanna
wanna
pay for it. They want us to do all this stuff but they don't wanna
Yeah.
fork
I
out
mean, you
any
get,
money.
you know, your firm, what property taxes will be increased by X, ratio. Really doesn't sound that bad. I mean,
Yeah.
for what you're getting back and improving per se,
It's gonna, again, add to your value of your home when you get ready to sell it.
and so like with Seminole, Andrews, these other communities around us, I mean, Kermit it's obvious, we're the only ones that never prosper with booms, sand plants, whatever you wanna bring in. Are they using COs or are they doing, citizen votes for their expansion and their improvements? I mean, Andrews is coming along, Seminole is
They have
beautiful.
insane voter turnout though.
Yeah.
They do.
That's,
Right.
it's the whole
So,
thing, why do they not show up? I mean,
It's always been like that from everybody I've talked to. Kermit's just always been that way.
Yeah.
So, but I know that's the excuse we can use for everything, but
But like everything else, you get what you.
Well, like James said, is how are they improving their towns? Are they just going through COs?
in
no,
the,
they're going out to the voters and the voters turn out and vote. Yes, they want this stuff.
Yeah, and I
You
think
said they have the same turnout voters that we have.
what they voted it in. The only thing I know lately that voted down was Andrews's emergency service district. I think they voted that down.
Yeah.
The school board's school bond election's a perfect example. The citizens of Kermit supported that. And they would have done the teacher housing if it wasn't at Best Park.
Yeah.
It would have passed
Absolutely.
if it had been in a.
If they would have done it at the T-ball field, like they were originally supposed to,
It would have passed.
Mhm.
So that's my basis on fresh data that we have for Kermit.
Yeah.
Is the citizens are ready to see something new. Do they honestly probably care if City Hall's a 60-year-old building or the fire station's a 60-year-old building? They probably don't care, but they know those are important, vital parts of the community. The fire station cosmetically would help. It's gonna help our insurance rates because we're gonna have more accessibility to everything. City Hall, we can stay in this thing another 60 years, but it's falling apart. I think Jaime's making a valiant effort to try to move PD into here, but I don't know if that's a 10-year fix or whatever, but we have to somehow move forward. And I don't know, like I said, I wanna see the actual as close as we can get. Now, according to a 20-year bond, what the Bosky Group put out, it would increase property tax to $1 per $100 of taxable value. So if you have $160,000 house, you would be paying $1,653 a year in property tax.
Additional to existing?
No, that's all included.
Okay, that makes.
It's 37 cents now, and it would require an additional 66, taking it to $1.03. So just short of doubling what you're paying now, but we're pretty low right now as well. But that would cover the obligation.
And I think a big hit's gonna be put on Sarah of social media. I mean, I don't know what the funding is, just hammer. Just put your demographic in there in your meta and hammer the sponsored ads for this area.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter the surrounding areas, obviously, but just, and if they don't show up and 20 people vote and say yes, I mean, you have your opportunity.
And like I said, we can go to the general election. Construction will be delayed about a year, or we can weigh all the options out, look at everything, and y'all can make a vote as a council. And it is what it is. It's allowed by state law. Lots of councils do it. To me, I don't think it's wasteful spending at all, not a dollar of it.
Okay, so if you take this to the voters,
Mhm.
okay, and it doesn't pass,
Mhm.
then can you go and take out one of these?
Yep.
So
3
we have to
years, sure.
figure out either or, is it gonna pass, is it not gonna pass?
Exactly.
Or we're just shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yes.
And if it doesn't pass, like you said, it's 3 more years,
3
of course,
years,
it'll be
yeah.
brought up and vote again. Vote for a vote again. Or 3 years for us to take action on,
Yeah.
or the council.
Yeah, we can't come back and then do GOs or
Well,
or
that's what I
COs.
was, so
And-
we need to figure out if,
In a perfect example, again, going back to the school bond, if they'd have grouped all three of them together, the whole thing would have failed, just based
Yeah.
on the teacher housing.
Right.
Just,
Yeah.
teacher house.
So if you're gonna go to a May election,
so we take some to the election and then some we do these GOs?
you can,
You can split them, you can
Can
split
you,
them up
can
that
you,
way.
but it's still gonna make the
it's the same
taxes.
dollar amount, whether y'all approve them or they're approved in the vote, it's the same dollar. So really, by,
I think the water lines in the transfer station need to be put on the water bill.
they are,
Okay.
Yeah, they're
So
not
for sure
included
That's what
in
we're doing with those?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're not included in the property tax.
Okay.
That'll all be absorbed by people that are actually using the sewer and the water.
18.5.
Okay, so the page 3 is what we're looking at. For just the three,
Yes, for
Yes.
these,
safety building, city hall, okay.
That's just for the 3.
Yeah, that would be a bond. The other ones are gonna be bonds as well, but they're gonna be repaid through sewer and water rates.
Okay.
The
water.
Okay, thank you for I just wanna make sure I'm on the same page.
Then-
Yep, and the
And so-
19 million would come from property tax.
So that's doubling.
Yeah, and we have to do the park. Somehow,
It is.
we've gotta
It's-
figure out how
As
to,
much slack as you guys caught for acquiring that place, you have to.
yeah, we have to do the park. No matter what.
I think we need to do all of them.
Well, we do, but I'm just saying. I don't know.
How did the cities or the schools and the counties, they come back in less than 3 years and put it back? How many times Odessa put their courthouse on?
Well, the judge actually approved that without voter approval.
Oh, yeah.
But before
they
they
He's
come
probably gonna
back,
get sued over it.
Yeah.
I don't know before, I don't know how they did it.
and the school districts have come back in less than 3 years if one failed.
I don't know. I just know the way the state law reads.
I
And
think a
I
lot
said
of
that
it,
the
if
other
we
night,
could get,
too, the 3
Yeah.
year.
if we could get grants.
Yeah,
When will we know if Kimley Board's able to get us the Texas Parks and Wildlife grant
For the park,
for the park? That's why we did the master park plan. So we could apply.
yes. So as far as I know, the application process hasn't started yet.
And my
But that-
understanding is once we approve, we can start saying.
Start asking for it.
So we've got to approve whether we're gonna go to an election or we're gonna go to these other
CO.
bonds.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, like I said, we have technically all of the month of December to talk about this, bounce things back, get the financial experts back in, let Mike be here to kind of help guide us, but just start thinking about is a dollar per thousand or dollar per hundred on taxable value. It's also, those vacant lots are going to help pay for improving Kermit. It's not gonna be, people who live in Houston or California that own these properties are gonna have to pay the additional amount. It's not just gonna hit the people in Kermit.
And do the elderly, are they tax exempt at some point?
Yes, and I don't remember the new homestead exemption that's going into effect, I think in January. But it
Okay.
raised it
Okay.
to 180,000, I think,
I was thinking 150.
150. So,
I know it passed.
Yeah, they're tax exempt.
The first year.
Cause I wouldn't wanna put a burden on the elderly.
do you like for the elderly to have 2-inch water lungs?
I would, but if they can't, afford food or water, they won't need the water. Cause they'll be dead.
Anyway, lots to look at and consider. Like I said, I really wanted this tonight to be some more public discussion. I think we've been able to talk and ask some questions and answer some questions. And just make a list of all your thoughts and jot down notes of what we can ask. And we can ask Mike ahead of time so that when we have the next meeting, Bosky or whoever will have those answers. Can we horn those? Feel free to send him an email. And that way those answers can be, we don't have to wait another 2 weeks or whatever to hear the answer. We can get them that night. And that goes with any of our meetings. If you've got any questions or anything for staff, send them to him early if you want. That way they're prepared and they don't have to say, we'll get back to you. That way they can give us an answer and we can move on. So feel free to use that all you want, but especially on these, like I said, it's a big undertaking. 38 million, up to 38 million. The other thing I just remembered looking at this, if we do a CO, which is the council, you issue a bond for 4 million for City Hall and 4 million for public safety, but City Hall goes to 4.8. You can take the money from the public safety building or from Vest Park or whatever, and those funds can be used. If you do a voter, you cannot use, it's restricted funds. So that's another advantage to using the CO is you can pool those funds together, so to speak, as long as they were part of the original council selection. That makes sense? So I did just now remember that.
That's a good point too, to make this, very good point. Do we remember what was the initial certificate obligation back in 2008? Does anybody remember
It's,
the actual?
thought it was on here, 4.5 million. In February of 2008,
There it is.
and the one in 19 was 3.3 million.
Okay.
And the other option that I just saw too on interest rates are low right now. If they lock in those bonds now versus next January or next summer, you could be 1 to 2% higher, and then your interest goes out the roof. So that's another thing to
And one other thing
help you
to
sleep.
consider, if you go with the GO as opposed to the CO, if you go with the GO, you're mandated to utilize the funds you said on that project and that project alone. So if you go with West Park and you say we're putting 11 million in West and the project runs you 12, you're gonna have to come up with that 1 million somewhere else, as opposed to the CO, where, for example, the the transfer station, we end up saving 1 million. But the city hall's gonna be over 1 million. We can utilize those funds to finish paying back without further obligation to the citizen.
So anyway, lots of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Any questions tonight that we want to bring up or Did I blow y'all away enough to?
Do y'all remember, the Park Hill people, they said 4, all of our paperwork says 4, but I thought they said this could be up to 6.
Correct.
They did say that, right? Okay.
Yes.
I thought so.
What was the word that they were using?
Yeah, I think all these numbers are preliminary right now.
Okay.
Yes.
But if we make changes, it can go lower
Yeah.
or it can go higher. Whatever the changes.
There was a certain word they kept using.
Okay.
I forgot the name.
And we're kinda in a time crunch, we gotta make,
Yeah, because by January, we have to put this.
We have to put on the agenda.
By December the 15th of this month, I have to put the people that are up for election, put my notice and everything.
okay.
Because
And then in January, we have to put this one, we're gonna go through a bond. Or if we go through a seal, I don't have to do that.
Okay, so that's for the crunches, alright.
See, either one still has the 47-day period, for discussions and stuff. But it starts the calendar, you work backwards from the May election, like she's saying, and we have to have it. We have to call for the election in our January meeting.
Correct.
So, by then, way before then, we would have a little bit more firm numbers. So you can kind of look at those, but anyway, that's what y'all get paid the big bucks for. Y'all got anything? Anything else? Anybody? We good? We go work on our float? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor? Any opposed? 6:58 PM.
And we need to look at maybe skip the next one soon.
Yeah, Mike